Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. Now, today is a great day, guys. The reason why today is a great day is because today, after 7 months of struggling with one of my students, today we celebrate his first 90 days of profitability. Now, I want to share with you today, guys, the solution that turned him from a struggling trader to a 90 days profitable trader so far, and hopefully many more in the future. Now, guys, the solution is something that you would not think about. The solution is something that I didn't even think about up until I analyzed my students' behavior and figured some things out, and I was capable of creating the solution for him that just worked tremendously for his trades and the way that he's trading. And therefore, let's just get right into it and let me explain to you what the solution is. Psychologists figured out that we don't determine the value of something by looking at the thing itself. We determine the value of something by how it compares to what's around it. So if I ask you if anything is expensive or cheap, let me actually give you an example. I come to you right now and I'm like, would you like to have a $30 pasta? You're like, $30 pasta? No, that's very fucking expensive. I don't want to have a $30 pasta. I walk away crying. I come back to you in a month and I'm like, would you like to have a $2,000 baby eel fish? You're like, no. $3,000 caviar? You're like, no. I'm like, What about a $200 steak? You're like, no. Like $30 pasta. You're like, yeah, that's actually cheap. Let me have the $30 pasta. So you don't determine the value of the pasta by evaluating the pasta itself. You determine the value of the pasta by looking at how it compares to everything around it. And therefore, I can trick your brain into believing that the pasta is cheap by presenting other really expensive options around it. Sales and marketing people use that everywhere. You go to a furniture store, for example, the first thing that they do is they take you and they show you the most expensive sofa. And you think that the reason why they're showing you the most expensive sofa is so you buy the most expensive sofa. No, salespeople know that you won't enter a furniture store and just choose the first thing that they show you. They understand that you will scour around, that you will look around for other pieces of furniture, that you will do all that. But the reason why they show you the most expensive sofa first, so that everything else seems cheap in comparison. Because as I said, we don't determine value by evaluating the value of the thing itself. We determine value by how it compares to the things that are around it. In that case, they show you the most expensive sofa. Now the most expensive sofa becomes your benchmark. Everything else in comparison now becomes a cheap. So they're putting that cheap label in your head. That's the trick that they are doing. And it just works in everything. You can, like, if you wanted to trick your wife into getting a house that you would like to get, and you know that maybe she wouldn't really like the apartment that you're about to show her, so you're like, okay, I want to trick her into liking it. So what you do is you take your wife and you show her really ugly apartments first. You show her 5 to 6 really ugly apartments first, and then you take her to that one better apartment. Now, even though in normal circumstances she might have not chosen that apartment, but now that you've shown her really ugly apartments first, in comparison, that real estate now looks amazing. She'll be ecstatic about it. She'll be like, okay, that's the most amazing piece of real estate that I've seen. Yes, let's get it. All the others were really ugly. Let's get this one. So, as I said, we don't determine the value of something by evaluating the thing itself. We determine the value of something by how it compares to what's around it. And therefore, people can easily trick you into believing that something, for example, that is supposed to be expensive is actually cheap just by placing a lot more expensive shit around it. That's it. This bottle of water is $30. That's expensive. Okay, let me bring other bottles of waters. This is $2,000. This is $500. This is $600. This is $700. Okay, now this water of bottle is $30. Now that seems cheap. And therefore, again, I'll keep saying it because I want to make a really great point about it, and therefore I want to present you with a solution that will just enhance your trading tremendously. We don't determine the value of something by evaluating the thing itself. We determine the value of something by how it compares to what's around it. This is a quick disclaimer in the middle of the video. Guys, there's a lot of other usernames that resemble my username. Those are not me. I will never message you first. Please beware of scammers. The only way to possibly be one of my 5 students for the June mentorship session is through the link in the description. I will make no exceptions, guys. I will not message you first and be like, yo, you're an exception, just pay through this link and you're in and all that. No exceptions. You apply through the link, you fill the form, that's it. All right, please beware of scammers. Let's continue with the video. Here's what would happen with the student is he'd take a trade, lose it, right? And then we'd sit down in a performance analysis session and I'm like, hey, we're on a call and I'm like, hey, that trade that you took is a C setup. And you know it's a C setup. I told you it's a C setup like many times before. So why did you take it? And he's like, yeah, I know it's a C setup. And I'm like, well, why did you even take it? Why did you take it then if you know it's a C setup? And he'll be like, well, at the time when I took the trade, I saw it as a high quality trade. And then just after it ended and I journaled it and I was like putting it in the Excel sheet, I realized that it's actually a low quality trade. And in the beginning of the mentorship, I was like, maybe because he's still just starting out, he still didn't get the full idea as time goes by. But he continued doing it. He'd take a shit trade and then later on he'd be like, I know that's a shit trade. And I'm like, well, why are you taking it if you know it's a shit trade? He'd be like, well, when I took it, it seemed good. But right now, looking back, I do realize that it's a shit trade without even me saying anything. So it's not like I'm adding information and then he's like, oh, that's why it's a shit. No, it's like, I know the moment the trade ends and I journal it, I figure out that it's a shit trade. But when taking it, I would think that it's a high quality trade. Like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then we tried to deal with it and lowering his stress and doing all that. And then at some point, it's like, Roy, I'm not stressed. I don't give a shit. But it's just, I keep doing it, even though I'm not stressed. I kept basically investigating a lot more in order to determine what's happening. And here's what I realized. We don't determine value by evaluating the thing itself. We determine value by how it compares to what's around it. It's like when he's taking the trade, he's looking at what other trades exist on the charts, and he'd look at the most recent trades that he's seen and maybe decided not to take and all that, and he would compare the trade with the most recent trades that he's seen. And in comparison, that trade would look better. And therefore his brain would flag it as a high quality trade. And then he'd take it believing it's a high quality trade because again, he didn't evaluate the trade for what it is. He evaluated the trade by how it compares to what's around it. And it looks better than what's around it, even though it's not good quality, but it's better than what's around it. And therefore he was like, high quality. And he took the trade. The thing is, when he's journaling the trade, he's actually looking at his journal. And therefore, he's looking at other A+ setups that exists on that journal. And it's like, in comparison to these other A+ setups that exist on the journal, that trade is shit. And therefore, when he's live trading, he's comparing that trade to whatever exists around it, which is the other shit trade that were presented for the day. And he's like, that's better, high quality, he takes it. But when he's journaling it, he's comparing that trade to the other A+ setups that he saw in his journal. And then he's like, well, compared to these other A+ setups that are in my journal, that trade is shit. So it's like, in the two different contexts, he's comparing that trade to different things. And therefore, when he's live trading, he sees it as high quality. But when he's journaling and he's comparing that trade to other high quality trades that he's seen, he's finding out that it's actually low quality. So it's like, it's not about the trade itself. It's about what he's comparing the trade with. And therefore, I was like, the moment I figured this out, now first of all, I didn't know if this is the actual problem for sure, but I assumed, because he's like, I'm not stressed, it's not affecting my decisions, I'm not stressed at all when trading. And he was like, we talked about a lot of problems, it's been 7 months. And therefore it was like, no, it's not that, no, it's not that. We test something and then we figure out that it's not it. Then we test something, then we figure out that it's not it. And the only way it got fixed, I was like, here's what we're going to do. I sent him a folder that had 6 trades that are A+ setups. Okay, the A+ setups that he took in the past. I was like, those are 6 A+ setups that you just took most recently. What I want you to do is every time that you're about to take a trade, before you execute it, go to that folder and look at these trades. That's all I want you to do. And what he did is he would look at this trade, at the trade that he's going to take, and then he would go to the folder and he would look at the A plus setups in the folder. And I told him, compare the trade that you have, not to the other trades that you've seen, compare it to the A plus setups that exist in that folder. So evaluate the trade by how it compares to what's in the folder, not what's on the charts. And he would start doing that. He would look at the trade and he would compare this trade to the other A plus setups that exist in the folder, and then he would realize, no, compared to the folder, that trade looks like shit. Compared to the screenshots that exist, those 5 to 6 screenshots that exist in the folder, that trade looks like shit. And it got fixed. It was that easy. It was that easy. It was just about stop comparing the trade that you see to other trades that you've seen in the past, because those other trades that you've seen in the past or while in your chart session might be shit, and therefore you're comparing your trade to shit trades. So if your trade is even just slightly less shit than those other shit trades, it will seem good. But if you take that trade and you compare it to a folder of trades that only have A plus high quality setups, that trade that you're now evaluating seems shit in comparison to those other trades. So it was all about for him to what he compares the trade to. Do not compare it to other trades that you see. Compare it to that folder always. So this is a suggestion that I now have for all my students in the mentorship, and I also have it for all of you guys watching this video right now. It's like, if you want to stick to high quality trades, and if you're being tricked into taking low quality trades, that's because you're comparing the trade that you see either to the most recent trades that you took. That might be, let's say you've taken 4 losses in a row, so 4 shit trades. That trade seem just a little bit better, you like high quality. So instead of doing that, all you need to do is take a folder, put 6 screenshots of A plus high quality setups in that folder, and then whenever you see a trade on the charts, just before you execute, just scour through the screenshots real quick and compare your trade to those trades that exist in the folder. If that trade is not equal or better than the trades that exist in the folder, then you're not taking it. That's it. That's the benchmark, and that fixed the problem for him. I know this is a short video, but I just wanted to give you guys this advice. I hope you guys enjoy the advice, and I hope you guys implement it in your trading. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon.